Welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Sarah Thompson. Keith Fear is joining me now. He's a hot air balloon pilot participating in this year's Great Forest Park Balloon Race. Welcome to the set. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
So it's nice to be back on the ground at this moment. You're normally up 500 feet, 1,000 feet up in the air?
At least, yeah.
So how many years have you been flying balloons?
20, going on 25 years.
And how many years have you been participating in the Forest Park Balloon Race?
I think this will be my 20th.
Your 20th years,
Yeah.
and this is the 20 years. This is the 41st year for the race.
Correct.
And you've been doing half of it. So what is it like? I mean, this is a big event in St. Louis. You can always spot it in September with all the balloons out, tons of families. What's it like participating in it?
It's actually really cool. One of the neat things about this race is that everything they do, they try and give back to the community with it. So it's a free race. There's no prize money for the pilots or anything. It all goes back into the community. And that part of it is really neat. There's nothing more exciting than taking off and looking out and all you see is a sea of people throughout the entire park. It's just full of people to watch the race. It's really cool.
And how high up when you go up in balloons? It's hard to tell when you're the person down on the ground. How high up are you actually?
You're anywhere from the treetops to 5,000 to 6,000 feet, depending on what you're doing. On average, we're somewhere between 1,000 and 3,000 feet.
Wow. Wow. Now talk about balloons over the rainbow, because there's other pilots from your group that are participating in the Forest Park Balloon Race. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have like 5 pilots that fly for us, that fly passenger rides for us, that are actually participating in the race.
Okay, and so each has balloons over the rainbow been participating. I know you have for 20 years, but other pilots as well?
Oh yeah, some of our pilots longer. We have a pilot who's flown commercially for 35 years, and I think he's been involved in the Forest Park race since almost the beginning.
So it's really interesting. We were looking at some of the photos of the balloon. That's actually your balloon. Is that how this works?
Correct. Yes. Yeah, we bring our own balloons. Some of the corporate sponsored balloons will bring sponsored balloons. But ours are our own, and then we'll put a banner on it for our sponsors for that particular year.
Okay, and so with Balloons Over the Rainbow, tell me about what you do as a group, as an organization, outside of the Forest Park Balloon Race.
We provide passenger rides to the community. We also do commercial advertising with banner work and commercial balloons for those companies that are interested. But most of what we do is passenger rides. Okay,
and with the Forest Park Balloon Race, you take off. It starts at at Central Fields, Forest Park. Where do you go? So here's the disclaimer. I mean, I have to admit, I don't think I've ever stuck around. I mean, I've go every year, but then I don't really stick around. So where do you, for the entire evening, you guys kind of go into the sunset. So where are you going?
It just kind of depends on the year and depends on the day. I've had days where we didn't leave the park. I've had days where I landed out at St. Louis Mills. It just really kind of depends on the day. Not necessarily. The nice thing about a balloon adventure is you always take off with a plan, but you always know as soon as you take off it's going to change.
And so do you communicate with your team? Do you have a team of people to say,
yes.
I'm landing at St. Louis Mills Malls?
We do. We have chase crews that follow us. We have radio communications most of the time. With Forest Park, because sometimes it is so challenging to get out of the park for our crew, sometimes we'll actually pre-stage a second crew that's outside the park so that we can try and have someone there in some semblance of time frame when we land. I think the longest I've had to wait after landing is about an hour and a half. So yeah, if we can get them a little quicker, that's better.
For your crew, radio them in. So how many balloons are actually participating in this year's race?
I believe it's 70 this year again.
70?
Yeah.
70 balloons. And so this is people from all over. The pilots are from all over?
All over the country, yeah.
And so how many?
It's a big draw.
You're based here in the St. Louis area in Missouri, is that correct?
Yes.
But then you were telling me offset earlier that the Energizer Bunny that everyone knows the balloon race for is actually a pilot from out of state.
Yeah, Glow, who flies the Energizer Bunny. She's from Albuquerque. We have pilots from Kentucky, Tennessee, Kansas, all over the place.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break, but I want to learn more about how you even think about becoming a balloon pilot. Okay. So we're going to be back to talk more with Keith after this short break.